They weren't just crossing a river. They were declaring presence, declaring readiness. In the silent mist of Rukla, Lithuania, with nothing but steel, discipline, and the synchronized breath of nations, they moved. It was Saber Strike 17. But to the men aboard those amphibious platforms, it was more than a name. It was an oath. As the gray morning broke over the waters, the M3 Amphibious Rigs stood still for a moment, like cold-blooded sentinels, each joint and bolt engineered, not just for mobility, but for deterrence. The river ahead wasn't just a stretch of water, it was a line in the sand, a stage for demonstration, a signal to any watching eye. NATO does not waver. Troops from NATO's Enhanced Forward Presence Battle Group in Lithuania, alongside forces from the Polish contingent and the 15th Mechanized Brigade, prepared in silence. These were not just exercises. These were rehearsals for the unthinkable, designed to unify reflexes across borders, languages, and doctrines. The Saber Strike is not a game. It's a statement. As the command came through, engines hummed into motion. The M3 rigs, looking like mechanical beasts, unfolded with cold precision, transforming into floating bridges, each section locking with another, as if puzzle pieces forged from resolve. Soldiers moved with the confidence of experienced boots. Steady, eyes focused, hearts hardened by the awareness that one day, these drills might not be simulations. The crossing began. Steel met water. Machinery met silence. Every ripple caused by their movement became part of a larger choreography, one that spoke louder than politics or headlines. The platforms carried armored vehicles, troops, weighty symbols of unity. And as they glided across, they weren't just testing metal, they were testing trust. Lithuania's landscape, once a backdrop to centuries of invasion, now bore witness to a different kind of force, a force that arrives not to conquer, but to guarantee. The NATO troops weren't foreign intruders. They were sentinels of sovereignty, a multinational presence with a singular message. We stand together, or we fall apart. In the distance, officers observed. Radios crackled in clipped bursts. Commands were given in multiple tongues, yet every soldier understood, because in NATO operations, fluency lies not in language, but in mission. The Saber Strike is more than maneuvers. It's about pulse alignment. When troops from different nations march, fire, and move as one, they send a ripple through history. In the Baltics, where old scars from occupation run deep, that ripple matters. It heals. It warns. It prepares. The Polish forces, shoulder to shoulder with Lithuanians and other NATO units, maneuvered seamlessly. The 15th Mechanized Brigade had seen this before, but every drill is different. Every crossing a rehearsal for real war. The armored vehicles rumbled forward as the M3 rigs formed stable passage. The amphibious platforms weren't just tools, they were declarations. This was not war, but it carried the weight of war's memory and the pressure of its possibility. The operation in Rukla was captured in satellite images, filmed from drones, and studied by allies and adversaries alike. For some, it was a warning. For others, a reassurance. For the soldiers, it was a moment. A moment in uniform where ideology faded and duty burned brighter. When the last vehicle crossed and boots touched dry land, there was no applause, no cheers, only readiness. Because in the world of Saber Strike, success isn't measured in medals, but in preparation. NATO's silent river crossing was a ballet of logistics, power, unity, and message. A testament to how far collaboration can stretch and how quickly it can mobilize. And for those who watched near or far, the meaning was clear. If the river is the boundary, then NATO is the bridge. If the silence is the threat, then unity is the answer. This was Saber Strike 17. This was war, rehearsed, and peace protected by readiness.